Alright, welcome to another non-finito BG painting video. Alright, we're starting with an ultramarine blue as our underwash on the skin. I usually go purple, but I don't know, something called me to the blue for this model. I don't know why. And then now I'm just using some mineral spirits on a clean brush and I'm just dabbing away that ultramarine blue off of the raised areas, right? Kind of doing a reductive technique here. And so you see like that, bringing that white back. It's not completely white, but it just brings in some of that contrast. All right, and then now here we have some burnt umber that we're gonna go in as another wash. I start with a lot of washes and slowly start working up to thicker paint. It seems less combative. Alright, now we're going a little lighter. Some yellow ochre with a little bit of that Venetian red. Now this is just going to be kind of like that base skin color, right? It's not what the skin looks like under light or under shadow. It is the base skin color. I'm not afraid to have all these colors start to blend into each other. I actually want it to happen. It kind of starts tying the skin together, right? It would look weird if certain parts were all like just abruptly ultramarine blue, right? We don't have ultramarine blue skin in humans. Now I'm going towards the highlights. So this is a yellow ochre with some warm white. You'll notice I just start working more and more towards the lighter end stuff as I start to brighten up these areas. And it's so subtle. You can only the video is having a hard time like picking it up. It looks like I'm brushing, but nothing's happening. I promise, things are happening. All right, now I'm going through and kind of starting to add some like highlighted areas, and then I'm buffing it out with a dry, clean brush, just so you don't see the brush strokes. It's mainly like on the top of the shoulders, any of those areas are like really going to catch that light. All right, a little bit of lamp black, some yellow ochre, burnt umber. And we're going to start hitting all those leather and wood areas. So those, what are they, gauntlets? I don't know, those like wrist wraps, forearm wraps, the skirt, those wood boards that are like attached to the hip. And I just apply it to all those areas to get the staining effect. And I just use that makeup sponge to kind of just wipe away the excess. All right, Venetian red, yellow ochre, and then now I'm just adding some color to all that. So I'll apply this to all those pieces of fabric and then buff it out. And it kind of gives it like a smooth blend into the darkness. All right, you can't just apply it to the lower areas and then not, I guess, paint the rest of it, because then it just looks like you just didn't finish the painting. But if I smooth it into the darkness, you get the sense of the shadow, I guess. All right, now I'm just hitting those highlights. Again, Venetian red with some warm white. And then for these skulls, whenever I paint bone, I try to go more towards the green side of things. And the way you get green, if you're not using green, well, for one, you can use yellow ochre and black, and then you'll start pushing things towards a green, and then it'll just be mostly warm white that you mix that with to get it that light bone color. A wash of that scarlet red and just start applying it a little thicker and thicker as I go for the headdress. Nothing too fancy for the headdress. Here I do some cross hatching on certain areas of the headdress just so you get the idea of the fabric. So just cross hatching here and there. I'm not going to do the whole damn thing, right? I think it would look kind of goofy, but just like certain areas, especially areas where like the light's going to be catching, because then that's going to be like, I guess, the visually interesting part. So the top, those folds, I'll just do a little bit of cross hatching. All right, ultramarine blue, some lamp black, a little bit of warm white, and now we're gonna go towards all those metals on the model. So on that mace or that staff, those bells, and we're just gonna do a quick wash, and then to catch all that highlighted area, just some more of that warm white with that mixture. I usually use that mixture and just add, either depending on where I am on the value scale, either I add some darker value or I go towards the lighter value. Here I went towards the lighter value, but simply just by adding more warm white. All right, now I just start mapping out all those highlighted areas. All right, time for basing. So get his sticky feet off of my painting base, and now corkboard basing material. It's like a sandy or mud basing material. I've gotten one jar of this. It's lasted me for years. All right, just cover the whole thing. And then I'm not going to use super glue, mainly because this basing material is wet, and all that's going to do is cause that nastiness to have with super glue when it gets wet. Right, so I just use the basing material as the glue. Right, he's barefoot. He's going to be all muddy anyways, right? I don't care if it gets on his feet. All right, let's get these crosses that are embedded into his skin. And I'll just put one that's in face, the board on his back. All right, now just get some of that edge highlighting. All right, and then because I didn't prime the base, it's not gonna really, it's gonna soak in paint. So I'm gonna just use that to my advantage. I'm gonna use a lot of, I guess, washes on the base, and it's gonna be really quick and simple, right? Here we are, a paint job that did not take long at all. Hope you enjoyed. Like, follow, subscribe, all that. Thank you.